So it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but I'm back. So welcome. So I decided to go a different direction, and this time it's not a motivational story. It's not a, this is what leadership is, and this is the problem in leadership. And no, not this time. This is not a highlight reel. This is the story of the girl before all of the titles, before all of the degrees, before people really decided who I was supposed to be, or so they thought. This is long overdue. So I want to go back to a time long before any of that, when I was just a kid trying to survive a crazy environment that really didn't always see me, didn't understand me. And I think that part matters because we tend to skip it all the time, right? Like, especially in a lot of youth work or just people work, we see the behavior, we see the labels, we see discipline, but we don't stop and ask what happened before that. So, this is me taking you back before the systems, back before the work, back to the girl before they named me. My story really starts when I was 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, I'm originally from DC, and my family did a huge move to Florida. When I was 12, I really thought I was going to see the world. I don't know what was on my mind, but I was really trying to figure out the world. I felt that the world was big and I was ready for it. I was ready to embrace it. Like, you could not tell me that at 12, that was the age I was going to be in Paris. And I thought that's what 12 was. But 12 is the year that I ran. I hauled ass at 12. But let me back this up just a little bit. So I grew up in a two-parent household, and what's perceived of that is structure, expectation, definitely not trauma, right? But, I was the oldest daddy's little girl. And then with all the transitions that happen, middle school comes and you automatically become super aware of everything. And this is when I see myself in a different light. We moved from DC, which is so culturally rich, to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And here I am, sixth grade, tall for no reason, didn't really fit in anywhere, big nose, just so different. I wasn't fitting in here, I wasn't fitting in there, and I was in this weird place. I didn't fit in with the white people. I didn't fit in with the black people. I didn't fit in with the tall people. I didn't fit in the short people. And it was like, oh my God, what's happening? And then eighth grade hit. Eighth grade hit and everything shifted. My body changed. My attention changed. And this was the first time that boys really noticed me. And whether I realized it or not, I made a decision. I made a decision that no matter what, I was going to fit in because I was tired of people telling me I'm not black enough for this. Oh, why do you talk like that? You talk funny for a black girl. Or, oh, you're so intelligent for a black girl. And it was like, dang, I've never heard anything like that. So instead, I said, we're not doing that this year. So I started to move with a different crowd. And to me, that felt like freedom. That felt like freedom. That's when I met my friend Ebony, and we was like, and that was my Ace Moon Coon. But Ebony, also known as Jasha, she'll come up later. But what I didn't realize is that I stepped into a totally different set of rules that I was not prepared for, nor did I know anything about. So then I'm talking to this boy, and this is my first boyfriend. I've done all this work to get popular, and I'm like, oh, this boy likes me. Yay. Well, long story short, we break up like less than 24 hours. And he's told everybody, right? The whole neighborhood kids know that, he's dumped me. And basically, he got his friends to want to like kind of jump me type thing. So it's these three girls, and they're bigger than me. They're known for fighting. They're like in 10th grade, ninth grade, and mind you, I'm in 8th grade. So I'm just like, oh my God. And really I'm this suburban girl who's hanging around all these people who got real street cred, but I wasn't there yet. Like I was still downloading. So I get to apartments and they come up to me and they didn't really ask many questions. It was like, "Are you Shotty who blah 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 blah?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And like, "Who are you?" Like, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh yeah," I'm just like, "What the heck?" So I was like, "Okay, what's up?" Like, what y'all want to do, child? Yeah. So your girl gets in this fight, and I'm throwing, I'm boom, 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 boom. I'm all over the place. When I say I'm like a Tasmanian devil, y'all, I am wild, okay? I am going from left to right. I couldn't even tell you who I was punching. I just knew that I was punching and I was going crazy. And I was like, I'm not gonna get my ass beat today. Not like this. I'm a daddy's girl. My daddy taught me how to box. I know how to boop, boop, shadow box. Now, come on. Okay. So that's my first fight, and out of nowhere, their dad comes and he cuffs me up. And he's like, "Yeah, you got courage, little girl. You got courage, little lady. But you wild, you wild." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So he kind of like unleashes me, and I go home or whatever. And I remember on that walk home, I was like, "Dang, man, I just got all my street credit up. Now I'm gonna be talked about. Like, how I'm gonna recoup from this?" Oh my God, I was so hurt. I was crying all the way home. I was like, first that boy dumped me. He's so stupid. He's ugly. And then these girls jumped me, and so I'm just going through the whole, like, all the motions about all of it. And I go to school the next day, and I'm literally like, I got my hoodie on. I don't want to talk to nobody. I know, and this is before social media. Thank God. This is before social media. So I just knew that everybody was going to have something to say about this fight. So I get in there, and they like, "Okay, Netta, okay, yeah." And I'm like, "Wait, what's happening?" Because I'm like, okay. Child, I got so much street credit for fighting them older girls. They was like, the fact that I didn't run away, the fact that I didn't cry, the fact that I didn't get beat down, like I wasn't on the ground just like, messed up. The fact that I fought back. And what I learned in that moment was like, oh, okay, survival gets attention. Survival gets me credit. Survival is the way I survive this, and I keep going. Say less. I know survival. I know how to do that. And that's what that taught me. So 12 is when it all started. But see, what I didn't know is that survival was also what was going to keep me and put me on a path to really have to survive some shit. And I wasn't expecting that. And when that happened, everything changed. Because y'all, when I tell you, when I ran and I never was the same female after coming back. Like 13 did a doozy on me. 12 was like, okay, I'm setting a foundation. 13 had me lose my mind. Running was just the start. So at this point, I'm still 12 years old and I'm turning 13. But when you grown and you start dibbling and dabbling things, I'm mentally not really there yet. Like, I'm not grounded in myself yet. And I started experiencing stuff. And at that time, I had an experience that I wasn't quite ready for at all. Um, but I do remember walking away and being like, oh, wow, that's it? This is what Trina and the rest of them be talking about? Hmm. Okay. Well, that was that. And here we are. So it's amazing, though, because that's how I disconnected who I was. I was so disconnected from myself during that time of 12 entering into 13. So we're going to fast forward. And at this time, I'm spending a lot of time with my friend Yesha, Ebony. We outside, we on the phone, we just living, we just enjoying our 8th grade year, doing what 8th grade girls do, or maybe not, I don't know. But one day, we had this bright idea that we are going to go to Miami. Now, mind you, we're 13. We got no license, we got no plan, we got no sense at all. Matter of fact, it's just straight. nonsense. But to us, it sounded like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Miami, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna do everything. So her mom worked overnight, and child, we decided we're gonna take these keys. We sure took her mama car all the way down to Opelika, baby. And we get on that highlight and that highway, and we're like, okay, yeah, we got this. We know what we're gonna do. We brought clothes. Like we was about to have a whole life. Like when I tell y'all, we thought we was gonna have a whole time down there. We thought that we was gonna have a whole time at 13 years old. So we driving on the highway. We get down, and everything shifts. Like everything hit the fan. Everything. Everything. So we get down there, and at first everything feels normal, right? But then this is like this energy changes, it's a shift. And we're in the middle of these city streets that we don't know nothing about, and these cars start pulling around us. And I remember thinking, like, this doesn't really feel right. Long story short, the police show up behind us, whoop whoop, flashing light. The car who was next to us speeds off. I'm speeding off because I'm like, the cops are behind us. I don't have like everything's real at this point, right? I don't have no license. We in a stolen car. I'm underage. Like I cannot go to jail. I'm sitting here like, what the hell? I'm driving. I'm panicking, completely panicking. The car in front of me swerves off. I follow them. Like they seem to know what they're doing. I'm gonna do the same thing. So literally, they go to the left. I decide I'm gonna go to the right. Onto incoming traffic, y'all. I am 13 leading a high speed chase in Miami. I'm swerving, the car's coming at me. I'm all over the place. I'm not moving. Like, die. So we get to this point, and I had to make a split decision. Go left, go right, go left, go right. I go left, we swerve, boom, boom, boom. We run into a gate, and boom, there we go. Yesha is panicking. She's like, okay, this is it. We're done. This is it. It's over. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. So I leave. I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm speeding. I'm going. There's like a 6 feet chain link fence. I'm headed over there. Child, I don't even know how to climb a fence. That's how. Come on, y'all. Come on. Yasha climbs that fence. She scaled that bitch so quick, like gone. She's sprinted off of me. Okay, she came from behind me, went up in front of me, scaled the fence, and is over. I'm looking at her. I hear the cops coming. I'm like, oh my god, what am I do? I go under the fence, back all scraped up and bloody. I'm running, 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 running. We get to this person. I find her, and she's in this person's car. She's like, I find these people going to help us. Child, we're in the back of these people's car praying, and I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? God, get me out of this, please. You know that wasn't the end. God got us out of that situation. We didn't even go home. Okay, we didn't even go home. We done got caught up in some shoplifting, John, all the way down in Deerfield Beach. If you know the areas. And here we are, and I'm like, dang, my parents gonna kill me. All right, fast forward some more. So after I was on punishment forever for that, I'm still hanging out with Yesha. That's my dog. So literally, I'm chilling. Back then they had the chat line, which is like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like social media on the phone. You talk to whoever, you do your little intro, like, hey, what's up? This your girl Nana from 954, blah blah blah, whatever. So I'm on that, and I was not allowed to talk on the phone after 9 o'clock. Again, strict parents, strict rules. So I'm always on the chat and I'm kiki in the closet trying to be like all, quiet and secretive and everything. And then boom, 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 I hear a knock at my window. And I'm like, what? So I go to my window initiation. And Yesha's like, yo, Netta, help me out. Help me out. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you here? And she's like, my mama kicked me out. Like, can I come like chill with you? First of all, my parents are going to kill me if I let this girl in my house. My parents are going to go ape with Shawty in here. I cannot ask them at like 11 o'clock at night if this girl can come spend a night. Like, that's highly inappropriate. So I was like, okay, you know what? Boom, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you in. I'm going to sneak you in the house. Sneak her in. We on the phone. We chilling. We just having a time. I'm talking about it's a girls' night. It's a girls' night. It was so much innocent fun. And literally, I don't know, like time escaped us, right? Time escaped us. So we're vibing, and then boom, 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 boom. My dad is at my door. I start freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? My dad is, boom, 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 say, open this door. I know you in there with a boy. And I'm like, I'm not with a boy. How? And I'm like, I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, you hide, you hide. I'm trying to hide her. I don't know where to hide this girl. I'm like, I can't hide her in the bed. He gonna look there. I can't hide her in the closet. So I'm panicking. I am full on panic mode. So what do you do when you're in panic? You what is it? Freeze or, run, whatever, flight or fight. I literally decided I'm fun to go. So my dad kicks down the door. I leave out the side door and I'm running. Like, y'all, I'm getting it, right? I turn a little bit slightly behind me and I see my mom getting it. And I'm talking about she's going, going, going. And I mean I'm talking about like I hit it, boom, she hit it. I hit it, boom, boom. It's like what the this oh when you're a kid, you think like old people can't even run. So I was like that scared me in that moment more than anything. I was like, Lord, yo, I really have to go. Like in my mind, she was trying to kill me. Like you could not tell me that in that moment she wasn't trying to kill me. So I run about a mile up the street and we walk like, I don't even know, maybe 15 miles to this other area. And that's when it all changed. So we're walking for hours and it's morning time now, right? And I end up seeing and being in places that I've never seen before, experiences I've never had before. And I have to learn real quick. You don't just exist there. You don't. You have to give something. This is life. And at 12, 13 years old, I didn't really understand what that meant, but I learned. I learned. You don't know what you know or need to know until you have to. And I remember looking at myself and realizing I don't even recognize me anymore. I don't even look like me. I looked like exactly where I was and what I've been through. And things just kept getting worse. I'm in situations that I don't even know how to get out of. And here we are having to survive again completely. And this time I get jumped, but this was not like before. This time was different. This was a 12 to 15 people coming in to really do damage on me. And when it was over, I was unrecognizable to myself or anyone else. I remember that night being at the park, crying, sobbing, hurting, ribs bruised everywhere by myself, nowhere to go, have no clue what to do in this foreign land. And this was like for the first time, I didn't want to be tough anymore. I didn't want to be grown anymore. I didn't want to survive anymore. I just wanted my mom. And you try not to give too many details online. Like I promise you, I'm in the midst of writing this book because this is a hell of a ride. But I'll give y'all some insight on this part. I remember being there at that dark park, and out of the darkness in the night, there's three gentlemen that come my way. They start approaching me, and vulgar, explicit things are coming out the mouth, and they must not have cared what I look like. And you have to remember, I had on little hoochie, and it barely was even on. Okay, they didn't care that I was 13. They didn't care that. They didn't care about none of that. And I remember sitting there like, oh my God, it's not stopping. It's not. It's getting worse. Like I thought it couldn't get any worse. Like I thought I reached the worst, right? Like I went from being in a trap house to being in a house where I had to exchange things for passage to now I'm really not safe. Like these gentlemen look like they really want to harm me. And I promise you, right in that moment, it's like the protection of God, the universe just covered me. And a stranger, a distant stranger, steps in and everything stops. They came out of nowhere. And in that moment, everything shifted. He takes me to somewhere safe. He takes me to somewhere safe. And for the first time in days, I can breathe. Whew. The next morning, I wake up. He gives me bus fare. I go home. And this entire time, I haven't seen myself. So I go into my room and I look in the bathroom and I see myself. And I don't recognize who I've become. I don't even recognize me. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, oh my God, I'm going to be in so much trouble when my parents see me. But then my parents came home right after me and they just held me, y'all, because they already knew that I had been through something so horrible. I remember thinking, like, oh my goodness, they are going to just, and they just cried. And then I found out that they were a step behind me everywhere I went. I just missed them every single step. And you would think that that was the end, but you would think that was a turning point in my life for me, but it wasn't. Because even though I made it out of that situation, I hadn't made it out of what was going on inside of me yet. It took more breaking. I took more breaking, and I didn't realize that. I thought that that was going to be it. I really did. I was like, this was crazy that I even made this out alive. I made it out well. I made it out, okay. I have healing and on my body and stuff, but I'm okay. I made it. But that wasn't it. Life keeps moving, right? And my parents, y'all, they moved around a lot. So we move again to another part of the city. And here I am, new girl, having to reestablish myself, re identify, da da da. I found out I'm pregnant. By this time, I am now 15 years old. Mm-mm-mm. The right age of 15. And at that moment, honestly, I mean, it's going to do what it's going to do, right? It forces you to grow up. And for that kind of shift, you have to really feel like, it's not just me. There's pressure, there's judgment. I'm talking early 2000s, and I have to make decisions. I have to make these decisions that I'm not really prepared to make. I'm not mentally mature enough to really make, but I feel that I'm forced to make. Um, but long story short, when my son was born, something deep within me shifts. For the first time, I feel I have something to live for. I have someone to live for. But here's the catch. Wanting better and knowing how to be better are two totally different things. So, life continues. New schools, new environments, new people. And I've already been labeled at this point, right? Like by this time, I'm the teenage girl who's pregnant, who done had a baby. People have already decided who I am. I'm a fighter. I'm sarcastic. I'm this. I'm that. I'm all these things, right? And I have, happening even with a baby. I want to change, but I still have doing some of the same shenanigans I've been doing. Okay, like let's be real. I definitely had my immature shenanigan moment. Fighting didn't stop. My smart mouth didn't stop. None of that stopped. So, up until now, though, honestly, I had teachers tell me that I was the devil's child. I had family tell me that I wasn't gonna make it. I had friends that backstabbed me, and people literally showed me that I was worthless and tried to make me feel that way. So by senior year, in senior year, I traveled from Florida to Texas, and now I'm back in DC. There was this teacher, Miss Lyons, and she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So senior year's here, and we have this English project. Oh, Beowulf. So she lets us all know, hey, this is serious, and if you all don't do this, you all are going to fail. So I thought that she was playing, or that I could finagle my way out of it. So I ain't do it, and I had it made up in my mind that I was not going to do it. So one thing about me was, despite the adversities, I have always been able to keep up my grades just enough to either pass or even excel when I actually needed to. But y'all, when I tell you this lady was not playing with me, she failed me with a big fat F. She was like, almost like with a smile. She was like, "Well, Syfax, I told you I was gonna fail you," and yeah, she did. She did that, and I said, "Wow." Now, obviously, Miss Lyons was not important to me at that point. I could not stand Miss Lyons at that point, but at that moment, it redefined who I was becoming, because for the first time in my life, someone didn't just let me slide. Someone didn't just dismiss me as the person they labeled me as. Someone held me to what they saw in me, that potential. So I had a choice. Either I was going to stay where I was, or I was truly going to step into something different. So that year, that summer, I went to summer school, and that summer rewired everything, right? But not in the way that people think. Senior summer, it tested me very differently. There was a moment during that time where I honestly, like, I trusted the wrong people. And, you know, what happened next left me on the side of the road, sexually abused and assaulted. I was broken, I was beaten, fractured literally, to the point where I had to be rushed to the hospital. I was hospitalized for a little bit after that. And I remember laying there thinking, damn, like, I was really trying to change. I was trying to go a different direction. I went to summer school, and life did me like that. Like, dang, like, I thought I'm trying. That moment forced me to face something I never really understood before. That moment was that just because you're trying to do better, that doesn't mean, the world around you is. And what I had to learn was that not everything that happens to you is always something that you might have caused. You know, sometimes you're dealing with the consequences of someone else deciding to just take advantage of you. And that left a deep scar down deep down inside, because like a lot of times I was blamed for things easily. There was a lot of people who, well, you shouldn't have, and oh, and it was like, mm-mm. But even after that, there were things that I went through that I didn't talk about. Decisions that I had to carry by myself, um, that hit even harder. And in that, I kept showing up. And that same girl that people had written off, I was able to stand in front of my class and give a speech. Right? Chosen to give that speech, not because life was perfect, but because something in me refused to quit. I refused to let them rewrite my story. So I kept going. Life kept going. I kept going. I had to rebuild. I had to unlearn. And I had to choose myself. Over and over again, I chose myself because I wasn't supposed to make it. That's what they all told me. But the truth is, I wasn't the problem. I was a kid trying to survive things that I didn't have the language for yet. And the difference for me was someone who saw me beyond what I was showing. She saw me, even though it came late. It came my senior year. 12 years old to 17 is a long time of dealing with shit. So when I talk about youth behavior, leadership, I'm not speaking from theory. I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking from the girl before they named me.